De style holding, où le canot est allongé. Flip the switch.
Übes Mühlort. It's Halbedona.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up.
99.999% of the people that own Bitcoin are fucking morons, retarded imbeciles.
Pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, up.
Во-первых, народу мама музыка не очень. А? Отправление? Какое отправление?
Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Do you know them? No. But in Declare, we all fam. What? In Declare, we all fam. In the club, we are all family. Are you racist?
All right, what's up, guys? Wow, what a crazy week, and a crazy day too. Like, so much has been going on, and I meant to come on and do a live like earlier this week, but there's just been so much going on, and haven't really been in the space to. But finally, I'm here, and I'm looking a little rough and sweaty right now. It's been a long day, and I had a not so great sleep last night, but I'm like, I need to come on, do a live, talk about updates, because I'm probably going to be busy the next few days doing some family stuff. So let's talk about all the crazy stuff going down. Particularly, let's go ahead and share the right link here to the most recent news is that Trump has officially appointed Elon and Vivek to be running the new Department of Government Efficiency. So if you're not familiar with this, I'm sure probably you all are, because it's been everywhere, but today they've officially solidified it. But for quite a while, Elon has been talking about creating the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. And if you're not privy to that relationship, DOGE is the first original and largest meme coin crypto. You've probably been sleeping under a rock if you haven't heard of this, but you know, Elon's gone on SNL, talked about DOGE. It's been all over the place, you know, and now he's naming a government department after it. And so we have an official letter here from T himself. I'm going to go ahead and read that. And what's up, everyone? Good to see you, Claudette. What's up, Joel? Good to see you, Zachary. How's it going, guys? All right. So let's go ahead and read this here. It says, Statement from President Donald J. Trump. I am pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, and I find it hilarious that he capitalized great. I don't know. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe there's not, but it spells gem, which is kind of funny. The great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Together, these two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies essential to the Save America movement. This will, quote, this will send shockwaves through the system and anyone involved in government waste, which is a lot of people, stated Mr. Musk. It will become potentially, now this part's really interesting, potentially the Manhattan Project of our time, which is a pretty extreme analogy considering the Manhattan Project is what birthed the, the nuclear bomb and probably some other projects that we're not privy to as well with that team. So they're calling it potentially the Manhattan Project of our time. Republican politicians have dreamed about the objectives of DOGE for a very long time. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Maybe some of the good Republicans, but probably the majority of them are not so keen to that. But to drive this drastic kind of change, the Department of Government Efficiency will provide advice and guidance from outside of government and will partner with the White House and the Office of Management and Budget to drive large-scale structural reform and create an entrepreneurial approach to government never seen before. I look forward to Elon and Vivek making changes to the federal bureaucracy with an eye on efficiency and at the same time making life better for all Americans. Importantly, we will drive out the massive waste and fraud which exists throughout our annual $6.5 trillion of government spending. They will work together to liberate our economy and make the U.S. government accountable to we the people. Their work will conclude no later than July 4th, 2026. A smaller government with more efficiency and less bureaucracy will be the perfect gift to America on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And, I didn't even include this in my slides that I prepped for this, but you know what else Trump announced is going to be happening that year, 2026, during the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, is they're going to be bringing back the World Fairs. Did you guys hear about that? So the World Fairs, like the famous Chicago World Fair, trying to think of the other one, was it Illinois, that was in America, but there used to be these World Fairs near the turn of the century over 100 years ago, where all the best, newest inventions, ideas, art, expressions of humanity were on display. And there's a lot that ties into those theories about, the Tartarian Empire for existence and how they supposedly built these entire, basically, cities larger than what they would put in for the Olympics, the energy and the money, to create massive, beautiful buildings, supposedly just to tear them all down, which really makes little to no sense. So I'm sure many of you guys have heard that theory of Tartaria. If you're one of the people who has not heard of Tartaria, I won't dive too much into that, but that's basically the idea that there was this ancient, more modern, ancient civilization, maybe similar to Atlantis in its technologies, maybe kind of steampunk in its nature, and that a lot of these cities and structures in the United States that we claimed in our textbooks to have built in the past couple hundred years since we were supposedly colonizing the Americas were potentially actually much, much older than that. And the World Fairs were maybe an excuse to actually tear down, or at least the tearing down part of it, maybe not the World Fair itself, but when they tore down these massive, beautiful buildings and structures, it just doesn't make sense. And so a lot of people think maybe that was there to hide that history. So Trump said they're going to be bringing back the World Fair most likely. And I think the current candidate is maybe the Illinois Fairground, I think it is. But I think Illinois is one of the probable candidates. And I'm really excited to see what happens, because I think that the World Fair the new America Fair, which they said is going to be a whole year-long exhibition, which is kind of mind-blowing. It would be the perfect place to unveil technologies that have been repressed and kind of act like they're a new thing, because that's how myself and many other people I know feel that a lot of this repressed technology is actually going to come out, is it's probably not going to get disclosed by the government. It's probably not going to come top down. It's probably going to come from us, grassroots, but most likely these things will have to be reinvented and make it seem like we just invented it to kind of, maybe cover up some things from the past for better or for worse. But even as far as just a lot of these, government contractors, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Skunk Works with Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, they're most likely never going to disclose these technologies. So they're going to have to be reinvented. And, for the past 100 years, these technologies have tried to come out repeatedly over and over through people like T. Townsend Brown, Otis Carr, Nikola Tesla, Ralph Ring, who was working with Otis Carr. And what happened? Well, every time they find a cure to cancer, these people end up mysteriously dying or getting, their labs raided and things like that. So all that would need to happen is for that to stop. And naturally, these technologies are going to come out because we're going to have genius inventors consistently, I'm assuming, getting downloads for these technologies, because I think that's how they're coming in. I think that's how the Manhattan Project and a lot of these things came in. And XRP and crypto too. I think they were seeded here consciously, maybe without the knowing of the individual in all cases. But these things are bound to come out. It's nature. It's going to come out. And so all we need is to stop the active repression of these technologies. And what's really cool is, I've said multiple times that I think crypto is going to be the way that these technologies are able to come out. And at first I didn't get the full grasp of it, right? I was feeling that intuitively, like crypto is going to be the way that a lot of these are funded, in a way that these repressed technologies and repressed history and a lot of that stuff is going to come out. And then recently, you might know of a guy named Patrick Riley, who runs the Reaper Financial Project over on the XRP ledger. He was on the Journey to Truth podcast recently, if you guys have seen that. He actually is what he refers to himself as an acquired savant. So I think he had an IUD explosion when he was serving, and had some kind of massive jarring to his brain, a concussion. I'm not sure what the details are, but he says that he became an acquired savant, where before this, he wasn't like technologically minded. He was not creating schematics for free energy technology. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff is flowing through him, and he's creating all these schematics and ideas for free energy and anti-gravity technology. So what he did is he took those schematics and he minted them on like over a dozen blockchains. I want to say it was maybe like 30 blockchains, but it might be more like 10 to 12. But multiple blockchains, including the XRP ledger. And what he did is he took these schematics and he minted them as NFTs on multiple blockchains. So some of you might be like, well, NFTs, they haven't really proven themselves. And I think this is a great use case for NFTs, is putting out, schematics for repressed technologies. And what that means is that if the government or whoever, contractors, if they wanted to actually silence him like they did in the past, they would literally have to take down every single one of these blockchains, which is pretty much impossible. Maybe if it was just on one blockchain, maybe they could figure out a way to somehow, overwhelm it and somehow temporarily bring it down. But when you have these schematics on, multiple blockchains, they'd literally have to take down Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, Ethereum, like every major blockchain, which is not going to happen. So that was really cool to see. I'm really excited that he did that, and it validated what I was feeling, that this is going to be the avenue through which all of these repressed things begin to come out. Crypto is going to be the core freedom. When we have freedom of finance, it opens up all of our other freedoms, because every other freedom is kind of dependent upon financial freedom, whether you want it to be or not. And that was proven by the Canadian trucker rally. You know, if you're not familiar with that, a couple of years ago, Canadian truckers, they were trying to go protest in, the East Coast at the Capitol. They all drove their trucks out there. And what happened was the Canadian government didn't want them to do that. So they shut down all of their bank accounts and their PayPals and their Cash Apps and any kind of centralized digital money. They were able to shut down even the crypto exchanges. So they would call up like, Coinbase and whichever ones they had in Canada, and they would force those exchanges, which are private companies, just like a bank, to shut down those exchange wallets. So the only way that these truckers were able to transact remotely outside of face-to-face cash interactions, but if you're going to send money across the country, can't use cash. The only way they were able to do it was with crypto and private wallets, because like I said, these exchanges, they went down too. And the exchanges, that's why I say you want to pool your money off of the exchanges, because they're no better than a bank, right? If an exchange goes down, just like a bank, most of the time they can use your funds in there as bailout money. And we saw that happen with like FTX, for instance. FTX touted as the biggest, best exchange in the world with Sam Bankman-Fried, Super Bowl spotlights, every magazine cover. They're like, this is the most genius 29-year-old billionaire ever. And then what happened? Him and all his buddies are, getting cracked up and having sex in some mansion in the Bahamas, taking Adderall and crack and all sorts of things, over leveraging everybody's positions. And then all of a sudden the whole company collapses in on itself and people lost millions and billions of dollars. I think now some of that is maybe starting to come around and some people are getting some money back, but it's a great example of why you don't want to keep crypto on a public exchange. Private wallets are the way to go. If you're not familiar with the private wallet, this is one of the more popular ones. This is called a Ledger Nano. It's not my favorite wallet. There's a better wallet that I like called the Decent wallet, but this is going to be the most popular one out there. And basically this allows you to have full sovereignty over your crypto, where as long as anybody doesn't have this and they don't have your private keys that only you should have, there's no way they can get access to your crypto outside of maybe like a quantum computing hack. But even that is something that crypto is addressing and working on, and many chains are becoming quantum proof. You can even quantum resist your XRP wallet. I'll tell you how to do that simply. Basically, if you have a wallet with XRP and you don't have any other coins on there and you don't have any outgoing transactions, only incoming transactions, David Schwartz has said that is how you quantumly resist. It's not proof, but quantumly resist your XRP wallet. And I'm assuming in the very near future, every major blockchain is going to be quantum proof because they're going to need it. But yeah, private wallets are the way to go. That is, yeah, exactly, Daisy. That is. Where can we buy Stronghold from the USA? So Stronghold is a bit of a harder one to acquire. You can get it on the Lobster wallet. It's not available on the major exchanges, but if you get the Lobster wallet, you can swap XLM for Stronghold on Lobster. Just make sure that when you search for Stronghold, you're searching their website, which is stronghold.co. That'll give you the right asset, because there's going to be like 50 fake Strongholds on there if you just search the name. So make sure you search their website, stronghold.co. But anyway, coming back full circle, let me take a drink of water because I just ranted a bunch there. We have the Department of Government Efficiency, which has been officially given to not only Elon, but Vivek, which is really cool to see, because I know a lot of people, myself included, really liked Vivek, really wanted to see him in the new administration, and him working alongside with Elon is going to be pretty dope to see. So yeah, what we just read was the official statement from Trump, and now basically the memes are starting. So let me share a different tab here. Elon has already come up with a logo here for Doge featuring the dog. And let's see, he says all actions of the Department of Government Efficiency will be posted online for maximum transparency. Anytime the public thinks we are cutting something important or not cutting something wasteful, just let us know. We will have a leaderboard for most insanely dumb spending on your tax dollars. This will be both extremely tragic and extremely entertaining. This is the first time I've actually read that in full. That's pretty crazy because it's like we're literally memifying the government. We're taking meme magic and applying it to the government. And that just feels like the golden timeline to me. That feels like even better than the optimal ascension timeline that I could come up with, that we're going to memify the government and to have a leaderboard of like top tax expenditures. That's pretty hilarious. The entertainment value will be epic. So, okay, let's look at the next one here. Let me see if there's an easier way for me to swap. So Ashley St. Clair said, if the simulation isn't programmed for peak entertainment, then explain how we just shit posted our way into getting a department dedicated to firing half the government named DOGE and led by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy under a Trump presidency. Elon said America was saved by a squirrel and a meme coin, which is quite hilarious because it really does feel like that squirrel was kind of a Jesus squirrel in a way. Like that was like almost just I feel like that was a divine thing. What happened with Peanut the squirrel, how that happened to like right before the election, and R.I.P. Peanut, and my thoughts go out to his family and Fred. We can't forget about Fred the raccoon. But it seems like their sacrifice really was for the greater good and pretty much could have won our country back, which is pretty crazy. Yes. Joel says, I got to leave this one early. Join CCA, folks, and buy some drop. Yeah, so I didn't bring up any tabs for XRP meme coins on this show, but my last video, if you go check it out, is about the XRP meme coins, which kind of seem like they're kicking off the bull run in a way. So basically, 2 weeks ago, the end of October, this platform launched called First Ledger on the XRP ledger. And First Ledger basically is a platform to mint and create memes, and it's super accessible and super easy to use. And people have just been making tons and tons of meme coins. And for the past couple years, all the meme coin action has been over on Ethereum and then Solana. So I haven't really participated in that. I kind of poo-pooed meme coins for the longest time because I was like, these are just a passing fad. It's not something that's really gonna, stick around. But I feel like I am starting to bite my words a little bit, and more and more, I'm thinking that meme coins are in fact the future of memes in general, but like meme coins, I think are going to play an integral role with crypto. And it's this crazy dichotomy where you have super utility, super institutional, not even meant for retail coins like XRP and Stronghold. And then you have memes, which are just pure cultural expression and chaos. And got a spam number calling me. So like now to have this blend of memes with actual utility is fascinating. And it seems like Doge is going to be the coin of cleaning up the government. It seems like Doge is the government corruption coin now. Like that is what it represents in a way. And I would not be surprised if Elon figures out a way to somehow actually tie in the utility of what he's doing in the government to the Doge coin itself. Now, Doge is a decentralized, basically open source coin. Nobody owns the Doge network. It's a fork of Bitcoin. It uses proof of work. It's the oldest meme coin. But I wouldn't be surprised if they figure out some way to integrate it into the Department of Government Efficiency. And Doge is basically now the coin of cleaning up government corruption, which is pretty wild. So Joel references Drop here. Drop is one of the biggest coins, meme coins over on the XRP ledger that I think actually could be pretty successful. And I have some myself. I have a handful of different XRP meme coins. If you want to learn more about meme coins and crypto in general, The link to join Conscious Crypto Academy is down below. You can book a free call with me, and we'll get you in the program and teach you all this stuff in depth. We have tutorials. We do weekly coaching calls every weekend. We have a 24/7 group chat with over 70 people in it. It's a super fun time. And honestly, now is the best time. Actually, I saw a quote. I think I have this open in another tab, but they said 2 years ago was the best time to get into crypto. Right now is the second best time to get into crypto. And obviously with the new administration, everything happening, it's about to blow up. You know, Bitcoin has been hitting all-time highs every single day this week. It hit 90,000 early this morning. It's probably going to get to 100K very soon. I don't own any Bitcoin myself. I probably will never. I used to think Bitcoin was going to go to zero. Now I think Bitcoin may stick around as kind of a cultural phenomenon and an antique, unless some really bad news about who created it comes out. Or maybe if it comes out that David Schwartz, who created XRP, is one of the Satoshis, maybe that would send Bitcoin down, because then people would probably sell their Bitcoin for XRP. But if I have to guess right now, Bitcoin's probably going to stick around. It just won't be the biggest performer, because it's obviously already performed so much. So the real money, I believe, is going to be in the fintech coins, the financial technology coins like XRP, XLM, Stronghold, Sologenic, Corium. Those are the main assets that I focus on and that we teach about in the program in Conscious Crypto Academy. So again, if you want to join Conscious Crypto, click the link down below. You can book a free call with me, and we'll chat face to face. So Lucid says, surreally scripted movie scenes filmed in front of a global green screen. Yeah, dude, I wonder when we'll get the truth about what's been going on with Biden. And like, you guys remember that green screen glitch where Biden's hand went in front of the microphone? They never explained that one. You know, central casting. Peanuts life matters. Peanut and Fred. I had some memes, meme stacks, meme drops on my Instagram go extremely viral about Peanut. 2 different stacks that got like tens of thousands of likes. And so many of the comments were like, we're forgetting about Fred the raccoon. Like, how could you forget about Fred? Because everybody was talking about Peanut. And there was a raccoon too that they took, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it really feels like that was a crazy timeline shift. Bitcoin may stay as a storage of value, most likely going to dump into the X's. Yeah. And that's what happens too, is like, you know, with Bitcoin, the way these cycles work traditionally is we have these 4-year cycles with Bitcoin, where every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin that the miners are able to generate is cut in half. So supply and demand. I don't know, maybe you guys remember econ in high school. My IB econ teacher always did this like crazy, like he had this like dance he did with supply and demand to try to make it fun. But you know, supply goes up, demand goes down. Demand, you know, it's an inverse relationship. So whenever 4 years, the supply is cut, the amount that the miners are generating is cut in half, meaning for every block that they mine, they're getting half the amount of Bitcoin. Every 4 years, it decreases. That drives up the demand and the value. And so the markets have run off of this traditionally. And what happens traditionally is Bitcoin will find its top. When Bitcoin starts to come down, people are selling the Bitcoin into the altcoins being anything that's not Bitcoin. We're going to have to redefine that, because, you know, now I think an altcoin should be anything outside of maybe the top 50 cryptocurrencies, because I wouldn't consider XRP an altcoin, for instance, but the Bitcoin maxis would. And so that's what happens as Bitcoin starts to come down, and then people are selling into those other assets. So this is where you can time the market and you can see, and generally everything's going to move together, right? As Bitcoin goes up, the rest of the market, but then as Bitcoin starts to tip, that's when the rest of the market really moves up, and you can kind of time it and see, you know, when that's going to happen. So, you know, we're kind of moving into that area now that we're at Bitcoin all-time highs. I would guess we're going to hit 100K, and there's going to be a big sell-off, and then it'll probably try to go above 100K again. But I think XRP in particular, you know, it started running up today and pumping, and I think we're going to be hitting all-time highs for XRP, which we haven't even achieved, you guys, since 2018. in 2017 was the XRP was the best performing asset on the planet. There may be a super small coin that maybe did a little better, but for the primary cryptocurrencies and assets on the planet, XRP was the one that went from being half a penny right after Donald Trump was elected. Over the course of that year after he was elected, it went from half a penny to $3.80 at the beginning of 2018, right after Trump was elected the first time. So if we repeat that cycle, we have not even gotten to all-time highs again. Bitcoin's past all-time high, right? Multiple times. XRP is this spring that's been compressed and compressed and compressed. You know, I think there's multiple factors as to why, for better or for worse. I think ultimately it's for the better, but as far as the forces doing it, I think there's a combination of light and dark acting on that. But it's like a spring or a rubber band. The more you push it in the one direction, or the more the pendulum swings in one direction, the harder and the faster it's going to spring back into the other direction. I know I just gave 3 different analogies there: spring, a rubber band, and a pendulum, but you get my point. So I think it's going to move with a vengeance. I think when it does start to really run, we'll hit all-time highs. We'll probably zip past all-time highs. And the predictions I've been hearing TA-wise are during this cycle, $10 to $100. And that's just a speculative bull run, you guys. So speculative is everything we've been in. When we hit the utility bull run, that's when these assets will actually be used for instance, cross-border payments in the case of XRP. Utility bull run is when the utility drives the price action, not just the speculation of what will be and the FOMO and the hype driving it, which is what we have right now. Even Bitcoin does not have utility beyond the storage of value. Bitcoin's utility is basically speculative within itself. You know, every other asset is also a store of value, just like Bitcoin. And so XRP was created to be a better version of Bitcoin. Bitcoin can only do 5 transactions per second. Visa does 1,500 transactions per second. Bitcoin does 5. And right now it takes like an hour for a Bitcoin transaction to go through. I was just explaining this to a client on the phone today. Like she had a lot of Bitcoin, or this was yesterday. She had a lot of Bitcoin. She wanted to move it into XRP, and I was helping her do that. And she didn't realize that it literally takes an hour for a Bitcoin transaction to go through. And if Bitcoin adoption goes up, that means more users. That means way slower times. So that doesn't sound very practical, does it? Going to the grocery store, spending some Bitcoin, and you got to wait around for an hour while your ice cream melts and everything gets hot or room temperature. And okay, now it's an hour. Now I can leave. That's not going to work. That's why we need XRP, 2 to 4 second transaction times, less than a penny in fees. Whether you're sending $10 or $10 million or $10 billion, it's still going to settle in the same amount of time. Might be a little bit higher fee. Like if you're sending $10 million, you might pay $1 in fees or something, but it's ridiculous compared to like Bitcoin and Ethereum and other currencies, which are crazy expensive when it comes to those fees. So it's global liquidity every 4 years, nothing to do with the halving. Well, that's arguable. I would say it has to do with the halving because it aligns exactly with the halving every 4 years, which also has to do with the presidential election, which was something I think Satoshi did on purpose to align the presidential election with the halving. But traditionally, the halving occurs, and it's in the year after the halving that the bull run happens. But when we get the utility run, that's going to separate from the speculative run, and that's when we'll see XRP and other assets decouple, I believe, from Bitcoin as being the dominant force there. So yeah, let's move on here with our slides. What do we got next? Yes, so there was another announcement today as to a position that Trump has appointed, and that would be John Ratcliffe has been appointed to be the CIA director under Trump. So, last time around, Pompeo was the CIA director. A lot of people saw you know, what the character there, and a lot of people demanded this time that he not be a part of the admin. And Ratcliffe here was previously the head of the Director of National Intelligence, which oversees, I believe, 17 different national intelligence agencies. So he's got some experience there. And according to Ezra here, he was the first to expose the Russia hoax and the cover-up surrounding the laptop here, the HB laptop. So Ratcliffe is set to play a key role in declassifying some of the nation's most guarded secrets, including 9/11, Mr. John F. Kennedy, Epstein, Diddy, and the words that I probably shouldn't say here on the stream. But yeah, this seems like a win. I haven't seen anybody that is upset about this pick. They were mentioned in the drops as being good, Ratcliffe good. So yeah, I think that's promising. I find that very interesting. And let's see, what do we got next here? Oh yeah, this is a fun one. So we know Mr. Bobby Kennedy is going to be a big part of picking the new health administration for the various health agencies. And so basically what Bobby has done is he's opened this website that allows people to nominate who they want to be a part of the government. So this is what I find really cool about Elon and RFK in particular in Trump's new admin, is they are really reaching out to the people to get the people's opinion and honestly listening and you know, reflecting what the people want in their choices. So you can go to Bobby's website, which is nominees.mahanow.org, and you can nominate people to be in the administration. So one of my favorite health guys here, Mr. Paul Saladino. I love Paul Saladino. Great guy. I have his supplements, Heart and Soil, and he is a proponent of the animal-based diet. So he was somebody that started carnivore and eventually, well, you know, before carnivore, he ate, you know, like normal people do, realized he had a lot of gut issues, switched to carnivore, did carnivore for like 2 years while he cleaned out his gut, cleansed, and then brought back in fruit. And so for him personally, the diet that he kind of advocates for is one without plant toxins within mostly vegetables. So his big thing is that, you know, of course, no processed foods. That would be the main thing, like only whole foods. He's a big proponent of raw milk like Bobby Kennedy. But his kind of more niche diet for him specifically is to cut out most plants that are not fruit, that are, or basically anything where you would eat the plant itself as the whole plant. His thing is that those plants have defense chemicals because they don't want to be eaten. And so it's not that people shouldn't eat vegetables, but it's that people who have sensitive stomachs and sensitive diets can greatly benefit from cutting out not only processed foods and you know, processed sugars and things like that, but also cutting out plants that are have these defense chemicals in them, because as he say, these plants don't want to be eaten, right? There's a difference between a plant freely giving off fruit and you eating that fruit. It doesn't kill the tree or the vine or whatever. But when you eat something like kale or celery, you're consuming the entire plant, and those plants naturally want to live. And so they have these defense chemicals that can irritate your gut and your gut lining. And so for many people, they find benefit in cutting out these defense chemicals. And that's something that I've experimented with as I've kind of been cleansing my body and my gut. I found a lot of help in that. And now I eat vegetables, but I eat them in moderation. And I found a good balance for myself. So I don't think, you know, don't worry, this guy's not going to go out there and make vegetables illegal or anything crazy like that. But someone who is a big advocate for getting rid of processed foods, seed oils, that's one of his biggest things, just like Bobby Kennedy. Get rid of the seed oils. This is destroying people's health. You know, it's only since the seed oil invention of industrialized seed oils in World War II. If you guys don't know this story, you know, prior to World War II, in America in particular, and most of the world, the majority of fats that we consumed were animal fats. And then what happened during World War II is they were using rapeseed oil, which they rebranded as canola oil because rapeseed does not sound very nice. They were using it as machine lubricant. That was its function. Rapeseed oil, canola oil, vegetable oil was a machine lubricant. And they had all this excess machine lubricant at the end of the war. And they said, wow, wouldn't it be great if we could put some studies out there that say, hey, this is really good for your health. You know, meat and animal fats, you know, those are actually bad, even though that's what humanity has consumed for our entire existence. Those are actually bad for us now. And we're going to push these industrial seed oils, which are unnaturally processed. They require deodorizing, bleaching, and all sorts of nasty processes to actually refine it and get it in an edible form where it doesn't stink, because it literally is a rancid oil that they have to deodorize with chemicals. Just look up how canola oil, rapeseed oil is created. So, you know, a lot of these other vegetable oils too. Rice bran oil, for instance. Rice bran oil sounds like a nice alternative to other oils. But if you look at how much rice, for instance, if you go to Chipotle, right? Chipotle is supposed to be like a healthy place. Supposedly, they use rice bran oil. The amount of rice bran oil that would be in one dish at Chipotle is equal to like 3 massive bowls of like giant, you know, stainless steel bowls. Like picture a pot. You'd have to eat an ungodly amount of rice to get the equivalent amount of rice bran oil that is in a meal cooked with rice bran oil. So it's extremely concentrated in a way that the body is not used to handling and it can't process. And so since these seed oils started becoming a thing after World War II, all of a sudden disease epidemic starts, cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, all these diseases, diabetes, everything starts breaking out after seed oils are marketed to the public as a new food. So Paul Saladino has done an amazing job at exposing that. Bobby Kennedy is a big advocate for exposing that. And I would love to see Paul in a government position. I think that would be pretty incredible. So you can actually go and vote for who you want to nominate, whether it's him or it's someone else. You can go and nominate people on Bobby's website, which is pretty dang cool. So I recommend checking that out if that piques your interest. All right, so let's see. Let's move on to the next one. All right, I shared this quote earlier, but I do recommend following this Twitter page, and also mine. You know, you can follow me on Twitter too. I have my link down below. But this page, Pharaoh X33, if you guys don't already follow them, they are really accurate about what's going on in the market. I don't know if they're an insider or if they're just really tapped in, but they have been very accurate in predicting when things are about to blow. And they were one of the people that said that they think XRP is going to $100 this cycle. Potentially that beginning, like a $10 XRP this week is in the realm of possibility if we start to really break out. No promises, not financial advice. Obviously, nobody knows what's going to happen definitively, except for maybe the people pulling the strings at the top. But yeah, they were the one that said the best time last couple of years, the second best time is right now. So if you're one of those people that's been on the sidelines and you've been feeling that nag to like, okay, crypto, I know I'm supposed to do it, but maybe you've just been kind of putting it off. You know, you've been a little lazy with it and just not, you know, waiting until the opportune time. This is the time. Okay. That's what I feel in my heart. I feel like it's pretty obvious now with Trump coming in and Trump saying we're creating a strategic cryptocurrency reserve in the government. The United States is going to be the crypto capital of the world. We're going to prioritize American cryptos, potentially putting tariffs on non-American cryptos, Ethereum, maybe Bitcoin. But what's the biggest American-made crypto? Well, it's XRP. XRP is pretty much the second oldest crypto to Bitcoin. There might be some other ones in there, but as far as like the top cryptos, XRP I think was created in 2013. I might be mistaken on that, but not too long after Bitcoin, which plays into the theory that David Schwartz was part of the Satoshi team, because it seems like Satoshi was not one person, but DHS says there's actually 4 people that they met with. Homeland Security supposedly met with 4 people that were Satoshi. David Schwartz has played into that a lot, but obviously, won't directly admit to it. And I don't know if that'll ever happen, an official Satoshi coming out. And I don't think any of those random people that claim they're Satoshi are actually Satoshi. But anyways, the markets are about to blow. This is a great time. It's fun, like not only is crypto like this cultural revolution, there's a quote that comes from one of the meme projects, unicorn meme on, it's on like Solana and Cosmos. And one of the things that they've said that I really like is crypto is not properly a technological phenomena. It's not a technological phenomena. It's actually more of a cultural phenomena. And, it's obviously both, but it's a cultural phenomena because it represents sovereignty. It represents people taking the power back from the top down pyramid-shaped government. And that was the whole reason XRP was created. David Schwartz, the main guy behind XRP, said that he created it because he was banned from PayPal. And he realized, wow, we need a solution for people who are being financially censored. The Trump family is being financially censored. They can't get banks. They can't get insurance. A lot of content creators that, have had their pages deleted have also had their various financial platforms censored or deleted. I know several people personally who have had various financial services completely terminated just because of the things they say online. So the whole point of XRP is to bank the unbanked, meaning if you can't get a bank account because of this financial oppression, XRP is for you. And David Schwartz has also said that he had this really long thread that I'll have to go back and find, where he talked about how XRP is intended to take the power away from the banks and give it to the people. And some of you may go, okay, well, how does that make sense if XRP is the banker's coin? Aren't they working with the banks? Aren't they going around to banks and signing them up? Like, how does that work? That's a good question. Think of it this way. Remember when Trump became president the first time, he went around to all the different world superpowers. He went to Saudi Arabia, went to Israel, Russia, China, went all over the place. And he had conversations with them and they respected him, right? He went around and said, look, this is what's happening. This is what I imagine. He's saying, like, this is what's happening. You're either going to join us and you're going to be a part of the new world that we're creating that is by the people, for the people, we the people, or you're going to be exposed for crimes against humanity and you're going to crash and burn. And I think Ripple is doing the same thing with banks, where Ripple is going around to all these different banks. And I believe that they're most likely saying something along the lines of, look, this new technology is here to stay, and it's going to free the people from the slavery that you have, created. So you can either come over to this new system and be a part of it, or you can try to keep doing what you're doing, but it's not going to work out very well for you because people are no longer going to need you. And this is where I think that a bank is, if banks are going to survive. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Sovereign 17 is in Conscious Crypto Academy. If banks are going to survive, they're going to have to provide new services to the people that actually serve the people. Otherwise, there's going to be no point for their existence, right? Because with crypto, we're not going to need banks anymore. We're going to be able to go and spend our crypto on our wallets directly at merchants, at any retail store. And that's what Stronghold is working on. That's why I love Stronghold, because they're working on implementing crypto in the retail payment game, doing ACH rails. If you guys know what that is, if you're in the financial world, bank transfers, if you ever look at your bank statement and you see ACH transfer, it's a bank-to-bank transfer. Stronghold is bringing crypto to that and decentralizing that technology. And so we're going to be able to go and spend our crypto directly, which means you don't need a bank anymore. What's the point of a bank if you can hold all your money yourself and you can go and spend it without a bank? And soon you're also going to be able to spend other things. You're going to be able to go to the grocery store and spend stocks, or like you're going to be able to spend your Tesla stock or your digital gold or your digital silver, anything that has value that is on the blockchain in the digital realm that, you know, could be backed up by, for instance, real gold or real silver, real oil or whatever it is. You're going to be able to spend that using a wallet. And that, I believe, is going to be a reality within the next couple of years. You know, they already make crypto debit cards where you can get a card with an exchange like Coinbase or Uphold, and you can spend your crypto from those platforms. The only drawback is you have to have it on those exchanges, which we talked about before is not really optimal. So to be able to spend it directly from your wallet, that's what we want. That's coming very soon. And that's what's going to put the banks out of business. And so, okay, where do the banks, how do they survive in this new world? My opinion is one of the things that they're going to have to do is they're going to have to become a actual reserve for various assets. So back in the good old days, banks were actual reserves for gold and silver, for instance, right? They had to actually have the reserves for what they said they had because we were on the gold standard. And so there had to be those reserves. Well, look at us now. They took us off the gold standard. And now we have fractional reserve banking where they only have to keep a fraction of what your balance is and all their customers' balance. They only have to have a fraction of that in their account, which means that your money in the bank account is literally nothing. It's literally meaningless. It's just numbers on a screen, which you might say, well, crypto is just numbers on a screen. But there's a difference because with the bank, those numbers on a screen don't represent anything. Somebody can go on the back end of the bank, change some things around, and all of a sudden your balance is gone. It never had any kind of representation of value. It's literally just some numbers on a screen, and there's not money in the bank to actually back that up. And that's why there's run on the banks occurring all over the world right now. Like in Libya, they were burning down banks like a year or two ago because people were trying to pull their money out and there's no money. So they were burning the banks down. So what crypto does is it decentralizes and puts value, legitimate quantitative value to the digital system to where when you have crypto on a private wallet or wherever you're keeping it, that crypto is, for one, most likely a part of a finite supply in most cases. So there's no inflation. Like for XRP, there will never be more than 100 billion XRP tokens. It's actually deflationary, so it's going to be decreasing over time. But when you have, say you have 1,000 XRP on a wallet, that 1,000 XRP is never going to mysteriously become 500 XRP or zero without you spending it. Whereas in the bank, all that has to happen is some funny business in the background, and all of a sudden, there's no more money. And there already is no money to actually back that up. So where I think this is going is that banks will have to be actual reserves. They will have to actually have gold and silver equal to what they have on their balance sheets. And this is where XRP is going to become a way that we're going to be able to quantumly transport gold and silver and other assets around the planet. And that's because XRP, like I said earlier, can settle any amount of money in 2 to 4 seconds anywhere in the world. Millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, whatever it is. Any amount of money, it doesn't matter. 2 to 4 seconds anywhere in the world. So what that means is that if you have a bar of silver, here's a cool piece of silver. If you've got this and you want to send this, or say I want to send this to my buddy who lives in England, the fastest way to get it there right now would be to either mail it or get on a plane and fly it there. And same thing with cash, right? Even if you're on the East Coast of the US and you're trying to send $10,000 to the West Coast, fastest way to do it is to get cash, get on a plane and fly it there. That's archaic. That's ridiculous. So what this is going to do, and thank you, Kentwood, please hit the like button. Appreciate it. What this is going to do is allow you to transport this quantumly. So picture this. You're going to take this bar of silver to your local bank, whatever it be, whoever sticks around. We'll say Bank of America, okay? Maybe they'll stick around, maybe they won't, but let's pretend they do. Take this to Bank of America. You say, okay, I want to send this to my friend Joe in England. So here's my silver. They'll go, okay, I'll take this. I'll put this in the reserves in the vault in the back, and then they'll go in their system and they'll go, okay, we're gonna translate this into digital silver. So now it's represented in digital silver. Then they're gonna swap that digital silver into XRP, and then they're gonna send that XRP to your friend's receiving bank in England. That receiving bank of your friend is gonna get that in 2 to 4 seconds. Boom, it's there. Then they liquidate that, they swap it back into digital silver, and then they go to the back, they pull out a bar of silver from their reserves, and all of a sudden, within a couple of minutes, you've essentially quantumly sent silver across the planet faster than you could fly it there. That is the future. And that is one of the many utilities of XRP. What I love about XRP is it empowers every other form of value. It's not like Bitcoin, which is trying to compete with gold, which is just kind of stupid, right? It's kind of silly when people say Bitcoin is the new gold. You don't need gold anymore. You've got Bitcoin. No, gold has value, obviously. I think most people would agree there's value to gold and silver that Bitcoin does not have. So there's a difference between trying to say this crypto is going to replace everything else. There's a difference between that and saying this crypto, XRP, is going to connect everything, right? We're not trying to replace everything else. We're trying to connect all forms of value. And then the best forms of value will be the ones that stick around. But XRP will be that bridge between every form of value, whether it's gold, silver, the US dollar, the Chinese yuan, oil, Tesla stock, you know, I don't know, like whatever random form of value you could come up with that can be represented in the digital space, XRP will be that bridge. And so XRP has to be essentially the sum of all the value moving through that network. And so that means if this becomes the new world bridge currency and essentially the new world reserve currency in that respect, that means that that asset value of XRP, the price, has to be extremely high in order to facilitate billions, if not trillions of dollars moving in and out of that market every day. And that's because if XRP is only worth $1, and this is the exact scenario that David Schwartz gave, he said XRP can't be dirt cheap. If it was $1, it wouldn't work because that would mean that the market would swing ridiculously, which would make it impractical for any kind of cross-border payments or liquidity solving problems. So when the value is extremely high, when the price, you know, say the XRP price is 1,000, 10,000, or as David Schwartz put out there, he literally said $1 million XRP would be more practical than a $1 XRP. I know for a lot of people, they're probably like, wow, $1 million. Like, how is that even possible? Anything is possible because you don't actually need, let's talk about market cap in this case. So market cap is how much that whole asset is worth. A lot of people mistakenly think the market cap of a crypto is equal to the amount of money that flows in, meaning if XRP is hypothetically $1 million one day, that would be like a multi-quadrillion dollar market cap, kind of unfathomable. And people would mistakenly assume, oh, multi-quadrillions have to literally flow into that market to get to that price. And that is not true because market cap is just equal to the price times the circulating supply. And all that means is that the holders have to decide collectively on average that they do not want to sell their XRP for less than a certain value because they deem it to be worth that value. And so what would actually cause people to go, okay, I'm not going to sell my XRP for less than $1 million? Well, institutional adoption would do that because right now XRP is already drying up its liquidity on the public exchanges. That means that there soon will be no more XRP left. There will be very little for people to buy on the public exchanges. You know, right now we have the opportunity to go on Coinbase or whatever platform and buy some XRP. But if you look at the amount of XRP that is actually circulating on the exchanges, it's a very small amount. I want to say it's under 3 billion total. It might even be under 1 billion, but I have to double check that. There's 100 billion approximately total. Less than 3 billion, I believe, are actually in circulation on the exchanges available for people to buy, right? There's a greater amount in general circulation, but as far as the liquidity on the exchanges for us. So that number is rapidly decreasing, meaning eventually there will not be XRP for retail for you and me to buy on the public exchange, which means that value is going to go up because the demand will be so high. And that demand is going to be high because the institutions want that XRP as a financial technology, because that's its utility, that's its use case, is to be able to facilitate cross-border payments. And so they're going, each bank, each government, each financial institution is going to want to hold a strategic reserve of XRP to be able to utilize for those cross-border payments. And so that's why it's not really meant for retail. It's meant for the big money in the background. And that would drive up the price massively. So there's also theories that these institutions, I was just talking about this on, I've started doing a new bi-weekly show every other week with my friend John over on the Deep Dives in the Desert YouTube channel. They're a newer YouTube channel. You should go check them out. Deep Dives in the Desert. We do a live stream every other Tuesday. We just did one today. And he's an old banker, Wall Street financial advisor, asset manager. So he knows that world really well. And for us to be able to go back and forth and kind of compare is a really cool like dichotomy. But yeah, basically the theory that a lot of people put out there that I think is possible is that these institutions, they're going to need as much XRP as possible for their actions. So they might actually come to us retail folk and say, hey, can we borrow your XRP and we'll give you 10%, 20%, whatever it comes out to be a year to hold and use your XRP. So, you know, there's a possibility then that not only is this value going to be extremely high and all of a sudden lots of new millionaires and billionaires and maybe trillionaires are going to be created, but then the institutions may come and go, okay, we're going to pay you to actually use your XRP. And that might be in contrast to having staking. If staking comes out, if there's DeFi capabilities for XRP, which they're working on, you know, say that XRP gets some kind of staking mechanism, or even with liquidity pools or yield farming, there's all these different passive income opportunities within crypto that you can even layer. If the opportunity is greater for, say, for us as retail, if we're, you know, naturally we're going to want to hold our XRP. So the value to give it up to an institution to let them borrow it, they're going to have to provide something very valuable in order for people to say, okay, we'll let you borrow it. I'll give you custody of my XRP. And so they're going to have to match and exceed whatever you would be able to get natively on chain. So if you're able to get 10% on chain without ever having to give it up, they're going to have to match that. Maybe they're going to have to do 15 or 20% or whatever it is. Now, this is all theory, but I think that this is the direction that it is moving in. So it's really exciting stuff. And honestly, like this is what we're talking about when it comes to the wealth transfer, and why I think so many people are feeling called to XRP in particular. Like, you know, like so many people, like this is how I got into crypto. Is I was pretty opposed to it. And then I heard about XRP, and there was some divine guidance within me that was like, there's something to this. You must invest in this and then look into it. And so I bought some, and then it was like, okay, it's good that you bought some, but now you need to really learn it and understand why we guided you to buy some. That was my personal guidance from spirit, from source, from God, whatever you want to call that. And now I'm seeing all these other people who aren't even in the crypto realm, people who are psychics, who are mediums, who are intuitives, who are Christian prophets, that are coming out to their audiences. They've never talked about crypto ever in their lives. And they're saying, Spirit told me a message. God told me a message. My spirit guides told me there will be a massive opportunity with XRP. It will be a massive wealth transfer. Some of them are saying there will be a black swan event. The markets will crumble, and those who have invested in XRP are going to be the ones that stay afloat, that this will be a life raft, and even more, that it will be a massive amount of wealth. And, you know, I hope it doesn't play that way where there's a black swan crash. But, you know, one of the people that said that was the prophet, you know, Brandon Briggs, who predicted Trump getting shot in the ear. So if you haven't heard about this, 3 months before Trump got shot, there was this guy named Brandon Briggs. You can go look him up on YouTube. He predicted exactly that there would be an assassination attempt on Trump. He said Trump would get grazed in the ear by a bullet. This is 3 months before it happened. It's dated on YouTube. You can go watch it. He said he would get grazed in the ear by a bullet and that he would fall to the ground. And while he was on the ground, he said he would be reborn for Jesus. He would be reborn and radicalized for God and in his mission to God. And that was mind-blowing within itself, right? He got it to a T. Okay, so there's the proof in the pudding. What he also said around that time period, he said, the Lord told me, and, you know, I'm not Christian, so I don't come from that background, but this is how he phrased it. And everyone's got their, you know, spiritual perspective and lens that they see it through, whether it's Christian or it's another religion or it's spirituality or whatever. But he said, the Lord told me that there will be a massive financial collapse and that many people are going to suffer, you know, not to put fear out there because I don't want to create that. I don't think we necessarily have to do that. But he said that XRP will be an asset that people who are in tune with spirit, who are listening to God, that if they take action on this, it will greatly impact them and it will allow them to create a massive amount of wealth where they can then help other people. And he said specifically that God told him it's going to be worth at least $10,000. And he had never heard of it. He said, I don't even invest in it. He's like, God told me this and I had to go look up what XRP was. Crazy. Like, so, you know, how many times do you see that pattern? And for myself, I've seen it with almost every single one of the clients that come to me. I've had so many crazy stories of like people being like, you know, whether it's just, you know, I felt really strongly guided, or some people are like, I had a dream that like this golden ET came to me and told me invest in XRP. One person told me that, and they said that the ET literally told them to come get my help. They're like, buy XRP and go to Jace for help for it. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. And I've seen that pattern over and over and over, you know, whether it's God or spirit or their spirit guides or whatever that channel is for them, there is this pattern. And so it's like seeing 11:11 on a clock or 2:22 or 4:44 over and over and over. It's like eventually it gets through your head and you're like, okay, there's something going on here. This is not a coincidence. There is something happening. There's a phenomena happening. And for me, I want to be able to say that not only I listened to that, but that I took action on it, because that's the masculine and the feminine, right? It's like the feminine receives the information from spirit directly and listens in its purity. And the masculine takes that feminine understanding and then takes action on it and has the courage to go and actually create that and enact in the world. And it's the balance of the two that I think creates harmony in one's life when it comes to listening to intuitive messages from spirit, from God. So, like it gives me chills just thinking about it, because I really think that this is a massive wealth transfer. We're flipping the pyramid upside down. We're taking the money from the 1% and we're redistributing it to the masses. But it's only going to be, I believe, for the people who are tapped in to spirit, because the people who are disconnected from God, they're not listening. And so there's opportunities for those who listen to God and are like rewarded through that. And I think it's the people who are also listening and taking action that have the plans. And so like a lot of people that come and join Conscious Crypto Academy, they already know, or they have some kind of idea, if not something kind of specific, of what they want to do when they're a millionaire or a billionaire, whatever it be. They're like, I want to start a school. I want to go and create healing centers. I want to create new earth cities. I want to create, dolphin tours, or like, I don't know, whatever it is. And I think everybody's got that specific mission. And this is going to be the way that people's spiritual missions are funded, I believe. It might not be the only way, but I think this is the main primary mechanism that this amount of money will flow to the people who are feeling this call from spirit and who already have a divine mission in their heart to fulfill and create on this planet. So if that's you, listen to it. Like, you don't have to come to me for help. This isn't like a, hey, join my program because blah, blah, blah. Just listen to spirit and do what you feel guided to do. You can learn all the crypto stuff yourself. If you've got the time, you can sit at home on YouTube, you could trial and error, but sometimes it does help to have a coach, to have a guide, whether that's me or someone else. Everyone in crypto has to go through trial and errors when they're learning it themselves. I went through a lot, had a lot of failures, I had a lot of wins, and I've come out a wiser person because of it. And so to be able to share that with people and to be able to have like the group that we have in Conscious Crypto Academy, we've got over like 70 people in our group chat and more than that that actually taken the course and gone through the program. You know, there's a lot of value to having that community of like-minded seekers who are on this path, because it's one thing just to get the money, but it's another thing to be on the awakening path and to see the big picture. And my whole goal with Conscious Crypto Academy is that we are creating this international network that when this pops off and all of a sudden we have dozens of millionaires and billionaires and maybe trillionaires, depending on how this goes, we're going to have this network internationally all over the world. We have people from, of course, the US, but China, Mexico, Australia. Wait, did I say China? We don't have anybody in China. I meant Canada, which is kind of China 2.0. Canada, Mexico, Australia, Europe, the UK, like all over the planet. So we're creating this network. And I think crypto, this is part of what crypto is doing, is it's kind of it's like dropping the borders in a way consciously between us. Like we may still have the physical borders, but there's going to be like new crypto nations, I think, that emerge, especially when there's new billionaires and trillionaires. I think there will be new crypto literal nations, new countries that form that are maybe physical or maybe more in the digital space, but it's going to be a new paradigm of what it means to be a citizen, because we're kind of citizens of these crypto communities. We're like participating in the networks because we're part of it, right? It's no longer a top-down thing. It's something that we are all involved in and creating social governance for and like all this stuff. So yeah, that's like the big goal for me, is that we're creating this network so that when this pops off, we're going to be able to co-create some really amazing things together. And, you know, even if you aren't in Conscious Crypto Academy, that doesn't mean you're not going to be a part of that, because this is going to be, you know, we're connected in so many different ways. And I believe Spirit has a great plan for how this is all going to play out. And we all have a role to play in that, I believe, in one form or another. But yeah, if you want to join Conscious Crypto Academy, links down below. You can book a free call with me and we'll have a chat. Yeah, Doge is really moving. You know, I don't own any Doge, but I do think Doge is going to continue pumping, especially with the news that we just saw about, you know, the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon, Vivek. And like I was saying earlier, I think they're going to figure out a way to like implement this in. So yeah, I don't own any Doge myself, but maybe I will. You know, maybe if I get some good profits on one of my coins, I'll roll it into Doge or something like that. But it seems more and more like Doge is going to be one that does stick around. Dude, I remember watching you from Zen Knights of the Round Table podcast about 4 months ago. Good to see you. Yeah. 4 months ago. Did we do one 4 months ago? We were doing some couple years ago. Maybe we did do one a couple months ago, but yeah, cool. Yeah. I'm glad that you connected with me. And yeah, maybe we'll do some of those again. Those were pretty fun, doing those roundtables. We did a lot of them in like 2022, I think. Those were fun. Sweet. Yeah, 4 years ago. There we go. Yeah, Ada, what's up? Shout out, Ada. So yeah, you guys, it's like exciting times. I skipped a couple of comments up here. Let me go back. One Step at a Time said, how much is the tariff going to be put a fee on Bitcoin for Americans? I would assume Bitcoin's not going to get a tariff if he does tariffs. It seems like Bitcoin is going to be one of the main ones they're focusing on as being an American crypto. So probably won't get a tariff, but if they do tariffs, I would think Ethereum might get hit with a tariff. No idea how much it's going to be. I can't even begin to speculate. But there is a new documentary that's coming out that it was originally titled XRP Unleashed. And I think it was supposed to be coming out like this week or next week. I think they sold out most of their in-person theater screenings. There's one in LA, one in Scottsdale, I think a couple on the East Coast. But I heard today that they're actually rebranding it because they want to appeal to a larger audience. So I think the new name is something like exposing the exposing the SEC's war on crypto. And what it's really going to do is it's going to expose the SEC and the Wall Street cronies and the Biden admin and the Democrats primarily, and how they essentially went to war with XRP when they saw it as a threat to their existence. They went to war with it. They sued Ripple as hard as they could. And then they gave Ethereum a free pass for the same things that they were attacking Ripple and other companies, like Library was one that got hit hard with the SEC. They basically gave Ethereum a free pass, and there was all this corruption. It's called ETHgate, Ethereum Gate. If you look that up, is the name given to this corruption scandal. This documentary is going to be highlighting that and how a lot of these top whales, the top holders of Ethereum who got early pre-sale access. This is one of the things that they got a free pass for, this early pre-sale access, which was super shady. These top whales have apparently a lot of connections going back to China. And so, you know, this could put that in the spotlight. And I even saw somebody saying that Trump was gonna, I have no idea if this is true, but they were saying Trump was showing, or someone in Trump's team, they were showing this documentary or going to be showing it to the team because I guess somebody said that Trump was potentially nominating Jay Clayton for some position. And the XRP and crypto community were like, no, Jay Clayton was the one who dropped the lawsuit on Ripple the last day of his, administration, or the last day of his job. Literally the last day before he left, he dropped this lawsuit on Ripple and then skedaddled out the door. And so people were like, no, like, watch this documentary. It exposes what happened and how this guy was a part of all this. And allegedly, people in the Trump team apparently were screening it. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, that would be pretty crazy. Yeah, you're welcome. Definitely a crypto token on my bingo card. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Yeah, if you can, give the video a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. It helps me out. Much appreciated. So let's see what else, you guys. It says there's 107 people in here. I think that's a mix of YouTube and X. That's pretty sweet. So let's see what else is going on. If anyone's got any topics that we want to talk about, drop them in the chat. If you got any questions, feel free to throw them and I'll do my best to answer. I went through all of my links here, I'm pretty sure. So we're good on that. You know, Trump has stated all these things. Let me see if I can find the picture. There was a viral picture going around that explains exactly. Here it is. So Trump's agenda for crypto industry. That's what it looks like. You guys might have seen it. Create a strategic national Bitcoin stockpile. Fire SEC Chair Gary Gensler on day one. Name a presidential advisory council on crypto regulation. Stop work on a central bank digital currency. And foster stable coins, digital tokens that are pegged to the dollar. Ripple has just released, is about to publicly release their new stable coin, RLUSD. I think that's going to be a big game changer. You know, Trump has said in the past, he likes regulated cryptos. You know, even when he was anti-crypto, supposedly a few years ago, he said that he likes regulated cryptos. He said that he just doesn't like the unregulated ones. Well, XRP is the only legally regulated crypto. It's the only crypto that has a judge's order as not being a security. And the Bitcoin people will be like, well, Bitcoin, you know, they've said Bitcoin is, you know, regulated, and they've said Bitcoin is not a security. But that was like the head of the SEC and other people that just said it. They just gave their opinion. XRP is the only one, as far as I'm aware, that has a legal order from a judge in a case that it is regulatory greenlit. Bitcoin doesn't have that. Bitcoin was not given the order by a judge in a lawsuit. It was just stated by the head of these agencies. So there's a difference between legal judges' orders and just the head of an agency saying, hey, we think of it this way. So XRP is the only one. And Trump has said he likes regulated cryptos, and that's the one. And he said, we're going to push the American cryptos. You know, Bitcoin arguably has a huge Chinese control behind it. You know, it's probably going to get brought to his attention. He already brought up at the Bitcoin conference that we would have to at least double the capacity of our grid to even support Bitcoin mining, to become the leader in Bitcoin mining, right? So we don't even have the capacity to even become the leader in Bitcoin mining because we'd have to double the capacity of the grid. XRP doesn't have that. There's no mining with XRP. There's no, you know, you don't need all this power. You don't need the grid. You just need the nodes that take very minimal energy. It's 99% greener. You don't need all these machines just, you know, endlessly sucking up energy. Like it's really outdated, pointless technology at the end of the day. And the only reason why it's still a thing is just because of, you know, people wanting it to be a thing. But the technology is already far evolved beyond what Bitcoin is capable of. Have you heard about Craig Wright's $911 billion lawsuit against the Bitcoin core developers and all of their partners like BlackRock? Not mainstream because of propaganda against Craig. I don't know the details of it. I know that Craig Wright claims to be Satoshi. It's never really resonated with me. From everything that I've seen, it doesn't feel like to me that he is. And it doesn't make sense to me that the person that would be Satoshi would be trying that hard to prove that they're Satoshi. So maybe he is, but I don't think so. But you never know. You never know. But I'm not familiar with the depth. I've heard of the lawsuit, but I'm not read in on it like you probably are. When will Trump reduce the burdensome crypto regulations so we can use more exchanges from the USA again? I would assume pretty soon. But what do you mean? So we can use more exchanges from the USA again? Oh, I see. Like, yeah, I mean, I think it'll be very quick that he will kind of green light a lot of this stuff. And that's what I'm really excited about for not only XRP, but for Stronghold, because Stronghold is one of those. I think Stronghold is the biggest secret giant, the biggest one that already has the partnerships, that's under NDAs, that's already a successful business outside of their crypto usage. I think that they are the sleeping giant, and I think that it potentially could be a more profitable return of investment than XRP. You know. We'll see when it happens, but the market cap of Stronghold is currently like, it's somewhere between 50 and 100 million, I think. And let's put that in comparison with XRP's market cap, which is in the billions. XRP's market cap is 38 billion. Okay. Stronghold's market cap, CoinMarketCap says that it's 30 million, but it's actually more than that because the circulating supply. So it's more like 90 million would be the market cap of Stronghold. So 90 million compared to 30 billion. That's how much growth Stronghold has to just catch up to where XRP is. So I think Stronghold is going to be one of those that is just massive, massive return of investment, and will be one of those that will only really take off utility wise when these regulations get greenlit and those NDAs are able to, you know, be, you know, disclosed or whatever, and come to the public. And Stronghold's the one that I think will really take over the retail payment game. They're going for the whole retail infrastructure, not just in the US, but internationally, where I think it'll be the system that we use when we're just buying things at grocery stores and, wherever you're going to go. And they're going to have a DeFi reward system built in for the merchant retail process, so that you're basically getting cash back type of rewards and potentially staking and things like that with your stronghold by utilizing it for merchant payments. And their whole thing too, like with Ripple, is that at least for now, they've aimed themselves at companies that are traditionally not able to get financial access, that are not able to go through traditional means and tools. So for instance, one of their biggest merchants right now is a cannabis company in California, because cannabis companies don't have the same kind of access typically to, I think, like loans and certain business tools and things of that nature, payment processing and things as well. It's a tricky business. Like I think certain gambling and betting websites are also in that category, but they're kind of honing in originally on those projects that can't get banked in the traditional sense. So it's another kind of like banking the unbanked, but instead of banking, it's more like merchant transactions. And I think Stronghold is going to be their own bank too. Eventually, I think they've already got that classification somewhere, is what some people have been finding on Twitter, that they've already filed as a bank in certain cases. So that's where, like, maybe all the traditional banks will go away. Maybe some will stick around. I think that's really up to the banking infrastructure. Like the banks themselves are going to have to decide, okay, are we going to come over and provide better services and be a part of the system? Or are they going to keep trying to fight and going to war with crypto until eventually they can't do it anymore because nobody's going to be their customer? Yeah, I mean, the main exchanges that we use in Conscious Crypto Academy are Coinbase and Uphold. But honestly, there's a lot of exchanges in the US. If you're in New York or Texas, then you're more limited, because those states, especially New York, I think, are much more strict. But if you're not in New York or Texas, you should be able to get access to like dozens of different exchanges, like Coinbase, Uphold, Kraken, Gemini. Those would be the main ones that I would say. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you in New York or Texas? Because otherwise, there really shouldn't be too much of a problem. BitTrue is really the only main one that I wish we had access to here that we don't, because BitTrue is awesome and they have the most XRP pairs out of every exchange out there. But they are based out of Singapore and don't work in the US. Yeah, New York and Maine. Okay, yeah. So if you're out there, yeah, those states are really strict. So hopefully the Trump admin does lighten those up and that gets a little better. So yeah. Well, thanks for watching, guys. This has been fun. Again, I've been mostly talking to the YouTube people as far as link down below. But if you're over on X and you want to join Conscious Crypto Academy, just go to my bio. And the link is in my bio. You can book a free call with me, free 30-minute strategy call. I'll get to know you a little bit. We'll talk about what you're looking for, see if Conscious Crypto is a good fit for you. And if it is, we'll get you in right away. And what's cool about the academy that I run is that there's no start date. So you don't have to it's not like you're going to sign up and then wait a week before it starts. You literally get to get into it as soon as possible. So that's what's sweet, is like, it's a rolling enrollment. You start right away. We'll sign you up on the call. It's a one-time payment, which we'll talk about. It's not a subscription thing, so you're not paying every month. You just one-time payment. You're in. You got it for life. As long as I'm still running my website, my program, and doing all this, you're going to have access to it. And, we do those weekly coaching calls. We have a whole archive of hundreds of hours of video, because I've been doing this for the last almost 3 years. I've been running Conscious Crypto Academy, and I've been coaching people longer than that. And, hundreds of hours of bonus footage in there from coaching calls. And we have that private Telegram group. And yeah, you basically get started on it right away and join our next coaching call on Sunday. So yeah, link in the bio over on X to book that free call with me, or down in the description here on YouTube, if you're on YouTube. And let's see what else. You can join my Telegram group. Telegram's down in the description. I haven't been as active on Telegram, but I'm trying to get more active on there. for my public Cosmic Origins Telegram group. Recently, I've been putting a lot more energy into Instagram and my X page. So you can follow those down below too. All my links are down below. My Instagram, honestly, has been, I've been posting a ton of memes on my Instagram because it's just been so much fun. And I had some that are really blowing up. One in particular is, well, I told you guys about the squirrel ones, but I have this one that I uploaded of Shane Gillis and Adam Ray impersonating Trump and Biden. And it did like, it went viral, mini viral when I first posted it. And then it's been like a month or two. And then all of a sudden, just like the other day, it just started blowing up again. And now it's at like, it's probably at like 1.5 million views by now. It was at 1.4 last time I checked, which is just crazy. Like my Instagram notifications have just been like likes every single second for this video. Yeah, 1.5 million views, which is crazy. So I've just been posting a ton of memes, having fun over on Instagram. So hang out there if you want to see some meme content. And yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. So appreciate all the love and hope you guys have a great rest of your night and your week. And I'll try to be back on here and do another update sometime soon. And yeah, I'm excited. I think we're finally, after kind of years of stagnation, especially with XRP, we're finally starting to move in a upward price action direction. And I think that we're going to be hitting some all-time highs pretty soon with XRP, with Stronghold, which, by the way, is still really high from all-time highs. Stronghold's all-time high was like 6 cents. Right now, it's let's see, it's like, I think it's like half a penny right now. So yeah, half a penny, all-time high is 6 cents. So what is that? A 12x from here to all-time highs. And yeah, that's more than it is for XRP, I'm pretty sure, going from 67 cents to 380. So lots of opportunity. And I'm just so excited, you guys. It feels like we're finally on a good timeline. It feels like we did it. Like I'm, you know, maybe there's going to be some roadblocks. I know everyone's saying like, expect that something bad's going to happen. Expect that there's going to be something crazy, but I don't think that's good to put out. I mean, it's good. It's good to be prepared for anything, but I think it's better to pray that it's going to be smoother than we could ever imagine. That's what I'm putting my attention into, that things are going to continue to be smooth and we're going to get big W's, big wins. And it's going to allow us to really create the world that we know is possible. We have all the technology. We have everything we need to make the world a truly beautiful place for all of us to live in. Now it's just about doing it and praying for that, holding that intention. So keep praying for the highest timeline. Keep praying for the good of all of humanity. Pray for health and wealth and, you know, a closer connection with God, and that people wake up, because, you know, the wealth is not what's truly important. It's the awakening that we're going through. And I think that the wealth is just another catalyst that's going to help fuel the awakening. It's not about being rich. It's not about having Lambos or big houses or whatever. It's about doing the things that we know that we can do to create the space for us to have a beautiful humanity that is in touch with God and that wants to serve humanity, and having the leaders in the world who truly want to serve humanity and not enslave humanity. Like, you know, I don't think that's too much to pray for. So yeah, keep praying, hold the faith. Love you guys. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out, everyone.